Good morning, and today we're back up in Weardale. Why we're here? We're going to try and find a monster, but not the kind you think. But first, we're going to climb up here. So Howard, join us, let's begin. So let's set the scene. It's a mid-19th century and we're in a windswept, wild landscape. But it's not just any landscape. This landscape is rich in minerals that the Victorians want. The likes of iron, limestone and lead. The only problem is they've got an obstacle. This mountain. It's a mile from a valley floor up to the top of this hill. And the gradient is roughly 1 in 6. It's quite a climb. So how are they going to get that? Where they were going to get a monster that I told you about before, and it wasn't a creature, it was a standing engine, and it was massive. And they bolted onto the top of the mountain, and that's where we're going up to have a look. The mountain itself threatened to sever the industrial heart before it even begun. But ingenuity of the engineers at the time, leaders in the field, overcame that. And this story is about a lost piece of extreme engineering, how it conquered this mountain, and why today it is completely forgotten. Almost. An industrialist named Charles Atwood, a man with a huge ambition, founded the Weardale Iron Company in 1845 to exploit the riches in these hills and valleys. The plan was simple and grand: get the raw material from the remote mines around the village of Rookhope and haul them 24 kilometres to his new ironworks at Towlaw. The Weardale Iron Company controlled all the mines, the coal and the limestone quarries, and the ironworks to process it all. The whole operation was a testament to the period's ruthless efficiency, but it all hinged on one critical link: a railway line to connect the mines to the furnaces. But that's where they hit the wall. Well, not entirely a wall, more of a mountain. A 1 mile slope from the valley up a brutal gradient of 1 in 6. It was a physical impossibility for conventional 1840s steam locomotives. The whole industrial vision was threatened by a single stubborn hill. Charles Atwood and his engineers didn't flinch. Instead, they found a way. The solution was both brilliantly simple and brutally powerful. A standing engine actually pulled to the top of the mountain. From its perch, it would act like a colossal fishing reel. Miles of heavy steel wire rope would be wound around a massive drums, reaching all the way to the bottom of the incline. The wagons would be clipped onto the cable and the engine would haul them up. It was constructed in 1846 and built to withstand the harsh weather of the Pennines. The engine would turn enormous winding drums and several feet in diameter, cables wrapped around the drums, down the 1 mile slope, around a pulley wheel at the bottom and back up. A train of loaded wagons would be attached by a cable at the bottom, and the empty wagons would be attached at the top to act as a counterbalance. And for nearly 80 years the engines hauled the raw materials up the slopes from Rockhope. Locomotives took over at the top to take them to Towlaw's blast furnaces. At the time, Boltlaw's railway incline was the highest standard gauge railway in the UK. For decades, the Boltlaw engine was a landmark of industrial might. Its very existence was a triumph of problem solving, a symbol that no geographical obstacle was too great for Victorian ambition. But the world moved on, and after the First World War, Britain went into a deep depression, and it hit the heavy industries. The ironworks at Towlaw became uneconomical and were forced to close. In 1923, after 77 years of continuous operation, Boltlaw standing engine fell silent. The fires in its boilers went out, and the great drums ceased to turn, and the steel cables stilled. The machinery was eventually removed and the tracks were taken up in 1943 because the steel was needed for a new war, the World War II. The engine house, once a hub of immense power, was left idle and decaying into a ruin that you see today. The story of Boltlaw's engine is just one of thousands of forgotten industrial giants that litter our landscape. What other lost engineering marvels do you know? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoy stories like this about the ambitious, extreme and often lost technologies of our past, make sure to subscribe, like this video and hit the notification bell for future videos. Today the site is quiet, the roar of the steam replaced by the sound of the wind whipping across the moors. And as you can see, somebody has made a compass of bricks for east, west, south and north, and a rotten branch pointing to the north. The engine was not almost entirely forgotten. Its ruined stone house became a landmark, a stark silhouette against the sky. It even found its way into literature. The poet W.H. Auden, fascinated with industrial landscapes of the North Pennines, visited Rookhope and immortalised the engine's legacy in his 1940 poem New Year's Letter. For Auden, these rooms weren't just scars on the landscape, they were symbols of past ambition. And what stands there now in a powerful and poignant tribute to the machine it once housed, a landmark for hikers, cyclists and industrial archaeologists. It's also a tangible link to a world where if a mountain stood in the way of progress, engineers would simply chain an engine to it and start pulling. It is a ghost of a forgotten giant, a testament to the insane engineering that built our modern world, one impossible incline at a time.